I am your astrologer, Wonder Girl, and I'm here to give you your weekly forecast for the week of Monday, June 19th to Sunday, June 25th. Now, this horoscope is for my business owners, my entrepreneurs, my artists, makers, creative types, anyone who has a gift, a skill, or a talent that they really want to sell to make money, to make the world a better place, since I don't think two of those have to be separate, and to really do it from a spiritual, heartfelt perspective that's in touch with who they are, that's in touch with God, and in touch with kind of just, you know, their life and where things are going. And this is for you. And in this horoscope, I plan to give you some solid strategies about how to build your company, how to work with your people, and how to move forward with money as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, last week I said that we were making some big choices. These choices were perhaps between what the company was really good at its core, and was just really skilled at and liked to do, versus what you wanted to be known for in the industry and in the world. You know, are you really focusing on the things that are core to your company and that you're good at, or are you not? Are you spending all your time kind of building things that you're not good at, or that don't work for you, or that you're not really that happy about in some ways, and really kind of needing to figure out what you wanted to devote your time to and take risks and put all your creative energy to move you forward. And I think a lot of last week was about getting the information, kind of allowing yourself to explore, to receive kind of insights and things that were coming to you. And I think this week we're coming off of those hard choices into a new week, and maybe we still don't feel quite like we have all the information we need, like we have everything to move forward, but knowing perhaps that we need to make a choice, or feeling pressured to move forward anyways. And I think that's kind of what this week is all about. Like, after you've tried to get all of the information that you can get, after trying to move forward and talk to people and understand better what's going on with the company and some other situations, I think there's only so much you can do, and you have to use like faith for the rest, and you have to use intuition and instinct in order to make the rest decisions moving forward. And I think that that's what this week is all about, is feeling in the dark. We've come off of a week where we maybe had some hard choices, it's been a little difficult for us, and tried to get information, and now we just need to use our intuition and do what feels right and kind of just move forward, even if we don't feel like we have all the information, even if things aren't kind of falling into place in the way that we hoped for things to go, and just trusting that they'll be okay. So that's this week. Now, to get into more of the specifics, we do start out this week still feeling frustrated about our people, about money, about our relationships, maybe not feeling like our relationships are quite where we need them to be, or our people are where we need them to be, to really get the company in the right spot, to move forward in the things that are important for the company, to be creative and take risks in some ways, and all of that. And maybe some frustration with communicating with people about the company and about what things are happening, okay? Needing to be patient with people as you talk about these things, okay? But still wanting to get insights anyways, maybe still wanting to push through, to understand what's going on, to innovate, to try to make progress. So even though things are a little difficult, I see that happening. I see also at the beginning of the week maybe feeling a little uncomfortable with the company, with what the company is doing at the moment, with where the company is going in some ways. So I think the beginning of the week, just things are going to be a little uncomfortable. You're maybe going to feel like you're a little bit of a standstill, having to wait around for things a little bit, still wanting to communicate about where the company is going, about what you want the company to be, but maybe things just not going as quickly as you would like, and having to readjust your perspective. Maybe think a little bit differently about relationships and about money, and about how you can use them to work, you know, with the things that you want and to really move forward. I think you may have to think of that a little bit, being patient with relationships. You know, the beginning of the week just to me looks so frustrating in a lot of ways. I don't mean to be like the bearer of bad news, and I want to like give a really positive message, but I just think the beginning of this week you're just gonna have to wait it out, okay? Sit through some uncomfortable feelings, still try to move forward, but not push things too hard while you wait for some things to kind of come to you, okay? And then I think at the middle of the week is where things start to change, and that's when the sun moves into Cancer, and the sun conjuncts Mercury on the cusp of Cancer, where after you've kind of done some waiting, you know, floating in the in-between spaces, trying to figure out what's going on, use your intuition, I think that's when you really start to think, okay, well now that I've gotten this information, now that I've kind of tried to feel things out intuitively, I need to start building some foundations here. I need to start building something that can last, that is comfortable and secure, and without having all these crazy changes go on. And so I think that's what happens on Wednesday. We kind of start to switch gears a little bit from thinking more about communicating with people and talking about everything that's going on and putting ourselves out there and figuring out what's happening and kind of, you know, maybe being confused about what's happening, to really saying, okay, we need to slow this down a little bit. We need to figure out what's happening here and do and pick and choose some things that we want to move forward on in order to really build the foundations and the security that we need. So I think that's happening. Again, it's not going to feel comfortable with people. Maybe people are going to be a little uncomfortable with what you're doing. Money, finances, moving some of that stuff around as well could be hard. Feeling a little hurt in the way that you communicate as well, and the way that you're thinking about things, the way that you talk about your company, or maybe some harsh communication comes in from people in your company or from people outside your company. I think you may have to deal with that still as you move forward, as you're trying to build more comfort into your company and do those kind of things. But things do start to pick up at the very end of the week, and I'm talking very end, I'm talking like Saturday. So it's like most of this week we're gonna have to sit with some uncomfortable things about where things are going, even though we're trying to build more security. And I think it isn't until the very end of the week and the weekend when we start to want to make some more changes. And for you as an entrepreneur or business owner, a lot of those changes are going to be again in relationships and in money and things like that. We had this same aspect actually happen at the end of last month and into the beginning of this month, where we're making big changes in people, which people on which projects and where we put our money. And I think we're doing that again this week. But this week it's not like a total, you know, doing new things per se. We're just trying to make some small tweaks here or there to get people and projects right, you know, and move forward. And it's just, you know, this year I feel like it's just been one readjustment after the other, constantly having to shift our perspectives and shift our focus. And I think we're coming into more of those times, especially as a lot of planets are going to move through Cancer and oppose Pluto, move forward. We're still going to have to make a lot of changes in our projects, but I think what's happening now is we're going through these things that we're trying to make changes in a way that can build more stability and stabilize some of our plans. I think we're tired of all these crazy changes, and we want to build something that will last, that we won't have to change again in 6 months. And so I think that's the focus that we're coming to now. Instead of trying to make changes like we were at the end of last month to totally reinvent the wheel in some ways and do something new, I think now we're saying, okay, we're winding down from reinventing the wheel, from doing something new, from changing our plans completely, and we're starting to try to make these little tweaks here to really build something stable that can last, that can move us forward. I think when all this happens, there may be some kind of difficulty as you're making these changes that's going on the identity of the company as you're trying to build stability. Maybe feeling like it's hard for you to expand your relationships, to get good things from your people. Maybe your people are just so tired of you making all these changes, you know, that it's just very, very hard for you to do things, you know, and go things in the right direction as you're moving forward on what the company wants, on building more stability. I think that can be a little difficult. There could also be some confusion about things that are happening. Maybe some more things that are happening behind doors, you talking a little more privately with people about what's going on in some ways to try to figure out some of these things. But I do see a lot of that kind of happening there as you're trying to build more stability. Now, I wish I had a better report for this week. You know, I feel really bad about all my horoscopes for this week. They're so depressing. But you know, it's kind of just like we have to sit through some of these uncertain times in order to really get to the good stuff. And so my main message for this week is don't feel bad if things aren't going as quickly as you like, and if you're hitting more roadblocks, because they're teaching you lessons and you have to learn some things through these as we move forward. So your card for this week, and I actually really like it, I think it's really timely, is the Now, from the Sacred Creators Oracle deck. Okay, and this card is really great because it says, you know, and it's got a clock on it. That's what I like about it, you know, if you can see it. And the clock to me is an interesting symbol, because I'm always watching the clock. You know, time is running out here. How old am I? You know, how long have we been doing this business thing for? Like, is it gonna grow or is it not? And I think the message of the Now card is stop thinking about, is it gonna grow? Has it grown? You know, how far have you come? And think about right now. You know, think about the things that you have in front of you. What can you do with what you have in front of you? You know, stop thinking about the future. Stop thinking about the past. You know, it's gonna come and it's gonna go in whatever time it wants to come and go. You know, what you need to think about is, are you stewarding over what you have right now? Are you doing the best with what you have in the moment, you know? And to realize that what's happening right now is so beautiful and is so meaningful, even if you don't see it outwardly, even if you don't see the stuff that's happening in a really visible, tangible way, that things are happening, that are beautiful, and that are going in the right direction. And I think you kind of just need to realize that there is a beauty all around you in this moment where we are right now, and that you don't have to be barging forward. You don't have to be impatient. You don't have to be, you know, rushing things along. You can just take it easy this week and allow things to come to you, and you will be okay, and you'll be all right, and you're in the exact spot that you need to be in at this time. And so that is kind of the message that I have for you this week. If things are not going right, know that you are okay, that that's a fine sign that you are where you need to be, and that things will eventually turn around and move forward once again. So that's all I have for you this week. Thank you so much for watching my horoscope. If you like it, please like it on Facebook, like it on YouTube, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.